This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test. This is only a test. This
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. It's Monday. We made it. We got my friends here. We got you here. It's a good day. Let's get started, right? How was everyone's weekend?
Great.
Really?
Good, yeah.
What'd you do?
Oh, just did a bunch of house stuff, getting ready for spring, summer. It's very mentally, it's when you switch over, you know? So, that was it for me. What'd you do? Yeah.
Family. Yeah.
Skiing, really bad spring skiing, slushy, mushy.
It's better than me.
That should be the Yelp review that you leave.
Crushy, slushy. All right, welcome to DBL, as I said. And for weeks now, people have been speculating what's going on with Princess Kate Middleton. Since her abdominal surgery in January, well, folks, the wait is finally over. Kind of. So the British newspaper The Sun reports she was spotted at a farm shop over the weekend with the family. They say onlookers described her as happy, relaxed, healthy, but to prove it, they had only old file photos of the princess. Yeah, no actual photos from her apparent trip were published. Some folks are asking, all right, if no photos exist, did it really happen? Picture it didn't happen.
Picture it didn't happen.
Picture it didn't happen. This all follows the scandal around this photo of Kate that she admitted was altered using Photoshop. Speaking of which, another photo that was taken by Kate is getting headlines for also being digitally altered. It's this 2023 image of the late queen with all of her great-grandchildren. Folks online are pointing out all the bad Photoshop edits, like the sofa, which looks very different on either side. Okay, there's also this random black thing. I think that's a shadow.
Yeah.
Check out the queen's skirt that doesn't look natural.
Why would you Photoshop these things?
So what do you make on the latest of Kate? Do you really believe that she was seen out and about? And just so you guys know, some conspiracies, she's in a coma. We hope she's okay. She had plastic surgery. She's missing. And then someone said she's on the reality show, The Masked Singer.
That would be amazing.
I thought that was so stupid. Steph, what's going on? You don't know, but what do you think?
Oh gosh, you know, it's a bit of a very strange, unusual time for the royal family and everyone in England, because I think everyone's really quite concerned, in all honesty. So apparently the flags are flying at half-mast, which is never a positive sign.
Right, that's at Buckingham
Palace. That could mean anything. It could be to do with the Prime Minister, it could be to do with the royal family, it could be just simply a sign of respect for something.
Now, wait, let me ask you this. Princess Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, weighs in and says, I do worry about what happened to the truth. Is Kensington Palace a credible source anymore?
I think they are a credible source, but I think that there's that old motto, never complain, never explain. But I think in certain circumstances, they've made the public aware that Kate was having some form of surgery that was serious. The public then expect a follow-up. You can't just leave it for weeks and months on end with no resolution, like, is she okay? You know, the taxpayers are paying for Kate and the royal family. They need some answers. They want to know, is she okay? Let's not forget that people are concerned. She's a mother. She will be the Queen Consort one day. Like, the British public are very invested in
Steph,
Kate.
what do you think is going on?
Oh gosh, I wish I honestly knew. I mean, this is completely from the rumour mill, but from things that I've read and heard, is that possibly Kate had a major bowel surgery, and there was rumours of her having a bag, and the royal family deemed that to me possibly be embarrassing for Kate.
A colostomy bag.
Yes, and it would be a 12-week minimum recovery, which obviously would be very draining and hard. But again, is that true? We don't know.
Does anyone up here believe she was at that farmer's market?
No.
Do you?
No.
I mean, everybody has a phone these days, and to get a picture of whatever her title is.
Princess.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to get a picture of a princess.
With the sun there.
Let's not forget as well, so Kate is a hot commodity right now. If you got a picture of Kate seen out for months when she's been missing,
how much money are we making?
We're talking hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
I would think maybe even
hundreds of
7 figures.
thousands.
Yeah, me too.
So I think the fact that not one person got, absolutely.
Right now she's the most haunted
If you capture her.
If you got that picture and sold it to the press, you're talking of a serious amount of money. So the fact that there's not one image, I feel there might be a little bit of Kensington Palace saying, you scratch our back, put out this story, and we will feed you with some first-hand information when it comes out.
Well, we didn't believe it. It didn't work for us, The Sun. So it's starting to feel very weird over there. Speaking of all that rumor that have sprung up in Kate's absence, some are saying the British royal family's long-held motto, you heard it from Steph, it's the quote, never complain, never explain. That it's very outdated. They say not explaining things has only made things worse, and that the palace is in desperate need for a more modern PR strategy. What do you all think? George V, his lung cancer was hidden. They just don't tell us, but again, in the world of social media, shouldn't we sort of know?
I don't think we're entitled to know everything, but I think if you literally feed a little bit, you've got to follow through the whole story. So if you're saying Kate's had surgery and that's it, you're not allowed to know anymore, that's not okay. I don't see how in any world that's possible. If they wanted it to be private, let's be honest, she could have had that operation in private, no one need to know, heal, and then, you know, it could be like, people would naturally assume like a few months later, oh, there's Kate. They're not going to be like, where is she? She's not turning up.
So because they said the surgery, they made this worse.
I think the minute you announce to the press, this is a little bit, you give people an inch, they expect the full mile, especially when it's the future queen.
Well, I think it's kind of like, what is their end goal here? If it's to create chatter, create interest around the royal family, which is always, I'm sure, of interest to them, then don't explain or never complain or whatever. It sounds like something Bill Belichick would say. I don't think that's entirely bad if they want to generate interest, if they want to generate rumor mills, if they want to generate speculation.
But you can't use people's health for that, you know, especially when it's someone who's in line literally for the throne to support our future king.
I mean, that changes not only people's lives, but stocks. It changes foreign global policy if she's gone. I mean,
absolutely.
And I do want to say, people are writing, there is a rumor online that King Charles has died. Russian news reported that he died based on a fake social media post. Again, I don't trust Russia's media either, but it did post that. They say it is fake. The British Embassy in Ukraine shared a notice that this claim is totally false. So we just want to make sure we cut that we know so far that he's still alive.
Well, then what's with the half-mast?
That's what I mean. It's very unusual. It's very strange. The royal family do not do that for no reason. We are waiting to find out. Apparently, again, guys, I don't want to tell you false information, but apparently the BBC is on alert for the next 3 days or imminently for news. So it could mean that someone's very sick. We do not know.
Yeah.
It's very unusual. This is all very strange.
The PR on this just is very, very strange because we're left with this vacuum. We're going to fill it with rumors. So we hope everything is okay with Kate, and she's just on The Masked Singer. We really hope so. Coming up on DBL, our interview with the cast of Girls 5 Eva, how Busy Phillips and Sarah Bareilles are bringing satire to pop music. And we've got a preview of Oprah's special all about weight loss drugs. Will you be tuning in tonight?
It was very, very weird that they said...
Steph, we're on, so you can tell people.
Sorry, I'm just like constant gossip. That's what I was saying. Kate's taking the fall. I think it could also be that Charles, we know for a fact, they've said that Charles has got cancer. He's been very unwell. He's had surgery. And it could also be a diversion to get the focus off Charles so he can heal or recover as much as possible. And they say something's wrong with Kate, but that's why there is nothing wrong with Kate. It's just a diversion.
Yep, that's what I think.
Because then we've not been talking about Charles. We've not been the king of England has got cancer and has had surgery, and that seems to have just fallen by the wayside, which is a very,
we saw him going to the hospital to see Kate, and that's kind of the last time we saw him, right?
We never saw Kate going in. We never saw
We just saw him visit the hospital to see her, supposedly, if she was really there. But yeah, the BBC thing you were touching on. So over the weekend, this tweet went viral saying the BBC has been put on 72-hour alert notice, and Steph knows that if that's happening, something serious is going on. Again, we can't verify that the BBC has actually been put on alert, but that's what went viral over the weekend.
The last time that happened, it was the Queen passed away about 2 days later, and everyone was on alert to, report on that news.
Yeah.
And the flag was at half-mast as well.
So what's going on, DBL Nation? What do you think with all this new information?
Yeah, what is it information? Oh, we just like spreading rumors.
Yeah.
We don't want to spread rumors, but they're leaving us in this place of such unknowing.
Especially you being from there, aren't you like, what is going on? Fill us in, please.
Yeah, I think they should tell us. I think if you put out an announcement like that, you have to follow through with it.
So if something happens,
Welcome back, Karen, one of our producers. Good to see her back. Welcome back to DBL. Oprah's The Color Purple was the big winner at the NAACP Image Awards Saturday night, The cast came on stage to accept the award for Best Picture, and stars Taraji P. Henson and Fantasia also picked up acting awards. Now, Oprah presented the award for Entertainer of the Year to Usher, who talked about getting married, performing at the Super Bowl, and announcing an album and world tour all in the same month. Speaking of Oprah, she is set to air her new special tonight on ABC called Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution, where
doesn't roll off the
I
tongue
wish
at
she
all.
had rhymed it. Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Game.
Yeah, it's a very strange workshop, that guy.
Just somebody else come work it up. Yeah, I agree. Where she dives into the use of drugs like Ozempic. Take a look at this.
Obesity is a complex disease.
They are the new drugs sparking the weight loss revolution.
All of a sudden, I felt like I was freed.
But there's confusion and controversy. Are the medications safe? Should children take them?
She would be 500 pounds by 16.
So I'm having a conversation with lead experts to answer our questions.
These medications are really a game changer.
Let's stop the shaming and blaming.
So, Jeff, what do you think about this weight loss, her being the face of this after Weight Watchers? How do you feel about this?
I don't get the whole shaming and blaming thing at all. My wife has been very open. She tried, I don't want to, semaglutide. Yeah. I don't want to go too in the weeds here.
I think you actually nailed this.
Yeah, and now she's trying something out, Zepatide or Trizepatide. Very open. We talk, I'm not promoting here on our podcast, but we talk about it a lot, very openly.
Together mess,
And she wants to like kind of document her journey to help other people out. I don't see the shame in saying, hey, I need a trainer because I need a good kick in the pants to get started. Hey, I'm going to jump on a weight loss drug because I need some help. My body needs some help, and I'm going to jump on it. You can't maintain that for the rest of your life, obviously. You're going to have to make some changes at some point. But I think it's a good start, and I don't understand the shame or people hiding. I get their own personal decisions, but for me and my wife, we do not. So I'm just putting it out
I
there for
appreciate
us.
that. Now, a lot of people don't get that it's also a disease, Al, and she made it very, very clear over and over again. I just want you to listen to what she said on Jimmy Kimmel. Again, how obesity specifically is a disease. Take a look at this.
Obesity is a disease. It is not a disease for everybody who's overweight. It is a disease if you carry the gene or the propensity for the adipose gene, which is the fat gene. So not everybody who overdrinks is an alcoholic. But if you have the gene for it, you develop alcoholism. It is the same thing with people who have obesity.
Al, talk to me about that. What do you think about that?
It's more of a social mindset, and it's kind of an old school mindset, and it comes from a good place. It comes from a place of like, hey, if you've got a vice, get a hold of it. If you're gambling, Jeff, stop. If you're drinking too much, Steph, stop it. If you're eating too much, Tori, knock it off.
Stop it,
But
Al.
we talked before the games.
Way to get deep in that advice. But don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really kind of what it is. It's not, and people didn't understand why is my son 400 pounds? Why is my husband continuing to buy things when we're bankrupt? It's because it is a disease, but it's a disease that looks fun.
Right.
Gambling looks fun.
Sex looks fun.
Yes.
Shopping. Right.
Being somebody that is a nymphomaniac, we throw that around, but it destroys people's lives. They're engaging in sex compulsively without pleasure. But the things that those people are actually dying from are things that we engage in for pleasure, the people that don't have that disease. So it's hard for us to say, well, if I can gamble $50 and go back up to the room, why can't you? And it's because their brain will literally not let them. So until we really start to understand that vices that are involved with your disease are diseases just as much as cancer or anything else that takes your family from you, takes your health, your mental health away from you, will have truly evolved as a culture.
I do want to give a shout out to Oprah for stepping down on Weight Watchers because I think it's your responsibility as someone in the spotlight and that's been touting this for years to say, this isn't how I lost my weight. This is how I lost my weight. And I think you have to be open and honest if you are a public figure. If it's your own personal life and whatever, when you lose 40 pounds in a month, people are like, well, you're probably doing something. I don't know what you're lying. That's why I just don't get the whole thing, but to each their own, I guess.
Do you get it, the shame? I mean, hers is called Shame, Blame, and she said I had to get over the shame myself. Do you get the shame? I see it, that it's the lazy. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that in your heart you think, oh, I'm not doing the working out and the eating the fruits and vegetables.
I mean, I think everyone's completely different, and I think the reasons why people are overweight could be medical, it could be because of medication that they're on, other things. There are so many different factors.
Right.
There are so many factors. I mean, I've got a really dear friend friend that put on a lot of weight over a long period of time, suffered with depression, and it was really, really hard for him. He's started taking Ozempic back in December, and he's lost so much weight, and his confidence has skyrocketed.
Good on him.
And he's a different person. He wasn't leaving the house, he wasn't working, and now it's like someone's turned on the light switch again, and he's like, the cloud has shifted, and he's been taking Ozempic, and he's so happy and confident.
Well, I'm excited for this conversation. That's what I'm excited for.
We just had it.
Yeah, well, so will Oprah, and that's gonna
And
be...
what did we learn? Don't do that.
Don't do it. We'll be right back. Stop. Welcome back. Here's a question for the ladies. Ooh. Did you ever dream of being in a girl group growing up, like the Go-Go's or the Spice Girls? Well, our next guest made those dreams come true in their hilarious musical series, Girls 5 Eva. So the show follows a one-hit wonder girl group from the 90s who reunite to try their hand at a comeback. Earlier, we spoke with the all-star cast. Check it out.
Please welcome to the show Sarah Bareilles, Renee Elise Goldsberry, Busy Phillips, and Paula Pell.
You know, the four of you have become friends on and off screen, but what was it like when you guys got together for the first time? Because you guys didn't know each other, right?
No, we didn't know each other, and I actually was in my dressing room, and Sarah came in with like a very 90s spiky ponytail up on the top of her head, and I thought she just worked in the crew, and she came in and started talking to me, and I knew the other two women, but I hadn't met her yet, and she was like, "Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we're doing this." And I was like, "Oh, very nice. Thank you. And it's nice to meet you. Thanks. I'm Paula." And I just kept doing that kind of polite thing of like, "Okay, thanks. I'll meet you out there. See ya." And then I got out on set, and it was frickin' Sarah frickin' Bareilles.
Hello. And I did have a mask on, so it wasn't that she didn't completely.
Yeah, and I was drunk that morning.
Yeah, of course. To be fair, she's drunk a lot.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the new season, because it's about your comeback tour and life on the road. But we want to know, if the four of you went on a trip in real life, who would be in charge of the playlist and what would be on it?
Oh, boy.
We'd put Busy Phillips on the playlist.
Yes, Busy.
I would really be in charge. I am always kind of DJing, but I would need some input from Renee and some input from Paula and some input from Sarah, because we do all kind of have different musical tastes in real life. But But I do need to control the radio, guys.
We did an episode of Carpool Karaoke, and we had kind of pre-picked songs, but then when we got in there and started driving around and singing, we're like, oh yeah, what about this? Oh, what about this? And we just started like DJing on the fly.
When we find a song, when we stumble upon something that we all know and love, it's a lot of singing in harmony.
Yes, true.
Yes, a lot of singing in harmony.
Okay, all right. So we have busy controlling, although there's going to be a lot of input. So when it comes to the playlist, but I got to tell you, ladies, I just came back from a girls' trip, and I was in charge of the itinerary. It went okay. Who would be in charge of the itinerary to make sure you have the best time?
Busy Philip.
Yeah.
Well, kids are kind of like happy to be there, and Busy's like unacceptable. Yeah. We're doing this, guys.
I know everyone. She knows everyone, so you can say like, you know, it would be fun to do something where, you know, we go to like some museums, and she's like, okay, there's a guy named Scott. And this is a good friend of mine, and he runs the Louvre. His name is Scott McQuell, and he runs the Louvre, because that's what his name would be.
Okay, so Paula, you work with several of your fellow SNL alums on the show, like Tina Fey and Robert Carlock. Did you all have a hard time keeping it together when there's just so many funny people in one room?
Oh my God. Well, it's just so much fun. Like even when Tina called to say, do you want to be in the show? The one huge gift of SNL is that you work there long enough, there's just a family that just keeps expanding longer and longer. And even on SNL now, there's sons of writers that I worked with who are now stars on that show. And so it's just like this legacy of people all the time. And Tina and Robert are just in my bones. They've been around forever, and I've known Meredith for a few years, but I didn't know her as well, obviously, as them. And so now it's just like we just keep, it's a beautiful thing. And it's probably the reason I'm acting, because as they started making shows, they were like, hey, do you want to be a totally big weirdo on 30 Rock and, you know, welcome Tina into your wedding bed? My character on there, every time I was going to be on, they were like, okay, so this is what you're doing this time.
Well, Sarah, Renee, Busy, and Paula, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can now watch season 3 of Girls 5 Eva on Netflix. Thank you again, ladies. Congrats on season 3. Exciting.
What a great group.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
Welcome back. We've talked about the bathroom being the perfect place for a little me time. Well, experts say showering can decrease anxiety and depression and relieve stress. Not only boost your energy and confidence, but showers can also boost your creativity. So do you come up with your best ideas in the shower? It's the Alpha Waves, and I have a notepad that's waterproof because I enjoy doing this.
Aqua Notes.
Aqua Notes. Remember, we got them sent to us.
Remember we fell asleep when she was telling us about Aqua Notes? I still have that clip.
And they sent it to us.
Yes.
Aqua Notes. They're the best.
I didn't know that was a
pencil.
thing.
Yeah, everything is waterproof. Anyone else?
I think maybe it's probably because the shower is the only time as an adult you can stand still for like a second and have a clear thought without your kids, text messages. Do I need to cook? It's just like 10 minutes where you're just standing there. I could see that.
Yeah, and the alpha waves of the warmth coming in really, really work.
What are alpha waves?
What are
You clearly
alpha
want to
waves?
talk
I just thought
about
it was just water.
I just know that they're alpha waves in the shower.
Oh.
So if you need some creative ideas to upgrade your bathroom, Jacuzzi can help. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched stress-free remodeling process, so call 1-800-990-3709 or visit jacuzzibathremodel.com.
Yes. All right. I didn't know if you were going to read the rest of it.
Now I am.
Okay.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. And if you can, call your parents.